Hey everyone, I'm John Grimsmo, and behind me is my brother Erik Grimsmo. In this video we're going to be talking about the Tormach Enclosure. Pretty new product for them, and so far it's pretty phenomenal. I'm really excited to get this thing installed. It is hiding in this large crate right here, just came about a week ago, and I haven't really gotten much farther than just cracking it open and looking inside. But once we get it open, we'll give you a closer look at what's inside there. But it's going to be amazing. It's got sliding doors with glass or acrylic, plexiglass. I'm not sure. They're probably plexiglass. But what's really exciting me is there's going to be 5 lights on the ceiling of this enclosure. And I'm going to put really bright daylight bulbs in there, daylight fluorescent bulbs, and it's going to be blindingly white inside there. I can't wait. So what Erik is doing right now is he is taking apart the mill, because in the 2.5 years that I've owned it, I think more than once I've let the coolant concentration get too watery, and that promotes rust because the oil in the coolant doesn't let it keep the rust away. Anyway, so I've got quite a bit of rust. A lot of it's my fault. I don't know if it's the coolant itself that caused some of it or not. It's kind of a shame, but we're going to fix it right now because I'm going to send these to a local company to get powder coated. So with the enclosure, I don't need the side things, and I don't need this front thing, so even though they're all rusty and stuff, I'm not going to worry about those. We'll just take them off. I need to keep the door, so I'm going to get the door powder coated. We don't need to keep this backsplash, so we're not going to get that powder coated. The only thing we can't take off is this piece, and unfortunately that's rusting too, so I'm going to have to scrub that and just spray paint it with something to match, because this is attached to the entire electronics cabinet. And without taking all the guts out, I can't paint this thing. So anyway, that's what we're doing right now. And the enclosure is going to be awesome. You know what else is awesome? Shazam! There will be, or has already been, another video of this. Well, that just looks awkward now. Got the one wing off, the other one's over there. I mean, you can absolutely buy the mill even without the stand. Just the mill for a very low price. You gotta have the stand though, unless you have mad fabrication skills. With the enclosure, it's going to be completely different than it even was before. It takes up way less space like that. Holy cow. But that's okay. I don't mind the space it takes up because it is awesome. So we just picked up the tray back from local powder coating from Total Coatings in Stoney Creek, Ontario, Canada. $200 cash, and they did that, and the door right there. They sandblasted the whole thing and powder coated it. The color is... hang on, let me think. So the color that they used is 7035 machine gray powder. The new enclosure comes powder coated in this color, and it's an identical match, I would say. That's what the guy said too. A little bit different surface finish, but that's okay. I am thrilled with the job that they did. They did such a good job. This thing was so rusty and nasty before. It's a little light right here. Maybe didn't go heavy enough right there, but it is coated, so it should be good. Well, you saw it before. This thing was ugly and rusty. And now it's got a nice thick layer of powder all over it. I like it. I like it a lot. So let's get it back installed. Erik's just cleaning up the mill, and we will put it in. Erik got the new door on. The powder coating looks awesome. If you look real close, you can actually see the rust underneath. That it's pitted, the surface, but they did a really good job of blasting it. And then we still got to deal with that spot and that spot, but deal with that later. And we got some helpers out here. What are you guys up to? Oh, you playing with the air hose? Claire's all decked out. Alright, Erik's putting the back panel on right now. He laid down this strip of butyl tape, which is surprisingly, really amazingly sticky stuff. Not so much on your fingers, but once you get a big long piece of sheet metal on there, it's really hard to get it off. One kind of weird thing in the instructions, it tells you to all the factory holes right here to drill them and tap them for quarter 20 thread versus the M6 thread that they're currently at. So they supply a drill bit and a tap. The drill bit's kind of pointless because it just goes right through, but the tap is basically just reforming the threads a little bit bigger. So easy enough. And we might have to drill some new holes, especially around the front here, because there's no factory holes except for that big one. For the enclosure, I don't know if I mentioned this before yet or not, but it is quite fantastically well packaged. And there's a lot of pieces to this kit. Like, they really outdid themselves with the extent of it. I mean, here's a bunch of the pieces. Just a lot of different sheet metal pieces. I wouldn't want to make this myself. And it's all very well packaged, lots of foam, and it comes in a big crate. When I first got the crate, I was like, this is huge. Why do I need this much? Why does it need to come in a crate? But then I realized how much metal there actually is and how extensive it is. And their instructions are pretty awesome. Very detailed, well written. Erik's not here today, so I'm just trying to get that wall and the other side in the back corner. We got these two on. Now I'll try to get those ones on, and then some of the ceiling parts. Alright, getting these on with one person is interesting. Doable if you're in a pinch, and I just want to get this stuff done. They're just big and unwieldy, and this butyl tape is incredibly tacky and sticky. So, of course, the first 3 times you put it on, it's in the wrong place, and it's stuck to this entire length of tape, and trying to get it off pulls up the tape, and it's exciting. But anyway, one thing that helped was I've got a little 3/8 magnet right there that helps at least support the top end of it, especially with just one person. That keeps it from falling backwards, and having room to walk behind the machine would be a good thing. I was able to squeeze back here just barely and sort of stick my head through that hole to get these 2 screws in the front. And that works pretty well. So now I'm just going to put this side panel right there onto the side wall, and we'll see how it goes. Alright, so we're getting there. I just found one little downside to powder coating. That's sand. They sandblasted the whole thing beforehand because that's good. It had a lot of rust in it, so they had to sandblast it. But I found all this sand under the lip here, under here. So they sandblasted it, and some of it stuck, obviously, and then it got powder coated over the sand. So I had to go in with a little screwdriver and scrape out until no more sand came out. And that's a lot of sand. I mean, this is a machine tool. I don't need that sand in my coolant stream. Luckily, I have a filter on my coolant now, so it would catch all of it. So on this wall, there was some, not so much on the back, not so much on the front, and then on this wall, there was also some. And that led to little sections that didn't get powder coated properly. Not 100% perfect, but it's probably not a huge deal. Just wanted to point that out if you ever get stuff powder coated. Just make sure it's clean. So I've got the door rods in place, well, one of them, and they're just sort of set in place. Just like that for now. The top, or the side walls can still flex outwards, so in the instructions it says to use a piece of string to tie the 2 top corners together so that the rods don't fall and break your neck. Easy enough. Going for the classic bowline knot. Now I'm going to do the right top roof section. Okay, before I forget, when I assembled the side wall with the back wall, and I'll get my flashlight to help demonstrate here, there's a little bit of a gap there. Not a big deal, just pointing it out. There will be a lot of coolant spray to that corner, and the other corners the same way. Tube of silicone stuff, this stuff sticks extremely well. So on the other side I already did it, but you just kind of googe a bunch in there in the corner, and that'll seal it up nice and tight. Erik's back!
Yay!
So as you can see, this looming structure in front of us is coming together quite nicely. We've got the sidewalls on, the base drip tray thingies on. What Eric's doing right now is he's drilling a series of holes here in the factory base so that the enclosure can bolt to there securely and all that. There's not a lot of spots that you have to drill new holes in the old base, but this whole string in the front is definitely one of them. So these two front panels and drilling all these holes has probably been the most annoying thing, and the only annoying thing of the whole install. This is probably our 5th day or something of messing with it. Not solid, of course, but it takes many, many, many hours. So in my beautiful new powder-coated door, I'm installing this big foam strip that the new enclosure kit came with. And I like it a lot better than the factory foam strip, while Erik is putting the glass in from the top. I guess our ceilings are just tall enough.
Yeah.
This is the factory foam. And it worked okay, I guess, but I did get some kind of chips inside here. Not a lot, just a little bit. I think the new one's going to last a lot longer and feel and work a lot better. So I'm just about done here. I'll cut it short now. Getting the lights installed right now. This thing's nearing completion. I'm so happy that they put 5 lights in this thing. I use these for my light box.
I mean, they get brighter.
Oh, right. They get brighter as they warm. But yeah, they work great for my light box, for taking good pictures, and I want that kind of light in here. And for the new lighting in the shop, we got daylight bulbs as well. And I can still fit a car in here. Just got my summer tires off, winter tires on, because it is... Well, let's go look. Come on. It's a little snowy outside. Roads are crazy right now. So, especially with these ultra high performance Cooper Zero something tires, Xeon, they suck in the snow. Anyway, let's wrap up this enclosure vid, because it is done. No chips yet, because I was just about to, but then I realized I had to set up the coolant. So I used to have this coolant filter hanging from the backsplash of the old enclosure. Now it's just kind of sitting there, which is not permanent, not ideal, but it'll get me making chips, and it doesn't wiggle around too much, so it should be fine there. But I got my coolant back on. I'm just about to run a whole bunch of handles here. But yeah, the lights, I've only got 2 of the daylight bulbs in right now, but it's enough. One little weird thing that Tormach probably already knows about, but there's a hole right there. Hello? This panel needs to go all the way down. I don't know if there's actually going to splash that much down this far, and anything that drains is going to skip that hole. So it might not be a big deal. I'm going to leave it open and see if anything does leak out here, just to see. So right now I have the computer on my toolbox, which is where it's always been, and I'm very used to it like that, except now that the mill is a good 8 inches farther out and there's a full enclosure. And the good thing is I can see in through the side window, so when I'm using the jog pendant or whatever, looking at the computer, I can look right there and I can see everything that's going on. So I might not have to move it at all. And the jog pendant is movable. I had it inside the mill earlier today. I just found out that NYC CNC, my buddy John Saunders, also just got an enclosure kit and just installed it. And his review video is coming up, might even get up before mine is. And I'm sure his review video is going to be a lot more composed and thought out. And, not so much random rambling. But hey, that's who I am. That's what I do. My videos are a come along with me on this journey kind of video. I love his videos and appreciate his style of doing it. I wish I had that skill and forethought to do such planned out videos. But anyway, it's good to have 2 different styles. My style, what up, and his style. Yeah, so my last step that I really need to do is get the lights wired in permanently to like a switch somewhere. I thought about getting a 5-panel switch with 5 little switches on it so I can turn on whatever ones I want, but 2 circuits will probably be enough. Maybe the 3 fronts and then the 2 backs on a separate circuit. Other than that, it's done. And ready to run handles tomorrow morning. Quick little code change to make, and then I'll be running handles all day, so that'll be awesome. Because it's probably been 2 weeks or so since I've really run anything, since we took the base off to get powder coated. Last thing, I guess we'll talk about the price. I believe it's $2,600, which on the surface probably seems like kind of a lot of money, and it is a lot of money. But after installing this thing, just seeing the build quality and the precision and how everything fits together, and the instruction manual is great. It is worth that money. It really is worth that money. The question you have to ask yourself is it worth it to you for your business or for your hobby or whatever? Because will an enclosure make you more money? You know, like one guy on my Instagram page commented, and he's like, yeah, $2,600 is a far way towards a CNC lathe. So I said to him, well, a lathe will make you money. An enclosure might not. It'll keep your shop clean, it'll let you blast more flood coolant, it'll trap the chips better, it'll add more lighting. It's lots of amazing benefits. So you just have to ask yourself, what do you want to spend your money on? But I need it, I want it, I'm super glad that I bought it, and it looks amazing. Like, it transforms the way the whole mill looks. It makes it look like a VMC. You know, instead of a Tormach sticker, if it's had a Haas sticker right here, it would look the same. But we're Tormach people in this house. Truly is worth the value. I know guys out there are building their own enclosures from 80/20 extrusions. So if you spend $1,000 to build your own, this is worth $1,600 more than that. It really is. Unless you have infinite amount of time and you want to build it yourself, then by all means go for it. But I don't, and I don't want to build it myself, and I'm super glad that I got this. So that's the end of that. Let's make some chips and make some money. Alright, thanks guys so much for watching. I'm sure this was a very long video, but you know, I had a lot of stuff to go over, so stay tuned for the next video. Got lots of stuff coming up. Thanks, bye.